And thanks also to leader Cyril there. We can see that you are sharing the screen. And a disclaimer, this is not Cyril Ramaphosa, hello. So now, leadership, please help us. Let's go to Royal Q. Let's look at how positions have been. At the moment, on his account, it's been just a go slow. There hasn't been that. Our aim is to sort of help him understand how the execution platform functions before one can even think of going in to positions with bigger capital. Remember, Royal Q, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme, so to speak, or it's not a crowdfunding platform. Or Royal Q also, it's not a return on investment platform where you invest your trading capital with Royal Q so that you will be earning a fixed percentage in terms of your returns on daily basis and so forth. That's not the case. Your money does not go to Royal Q Business Partners. Your money remains in your own crypto exchange, whether it be Binance, HTX, OKX, Bybit, KuCoin, and so forth. You'll see the number of exchanges that we have on the system. So with that being highlighted, it simply means that for you to make profits here, it's purely dependent on the parameters that you place, the trade settings that you put in place, your trading capital, business partners, and not Royal Q. Royal Q is not responsible for how much you will be making per month and so forth. And that is the reason why it's possible to make 10%, 30%, 40%, 50%, even 100% or more of your capital within a space of 30 days. We have seen it happen because traders differ. Some people truly have time to even scalp and then to study the candlesticks, the price action, so to speak, and then go in and out of cryptocurrencies based on momentum in terms of volatility, and then collect good profits from those and then increase their capital just like that. I mean, their profits, so to speak. So that's what is happening, business partners. So we are in this session to learn and to show you as a trader that these are the things that you can do. At the moment, looking onto the screen, we can see that there are positions that are already running. Some are already in the green. I see BLZ is already in the green door, although a very small return rate in the positive, which is it is in a floating profit. And let's check at the one above BLZ, the one with $80 position amount. That one has 0.44% business partners, and then which is big at the moment. And then we previously shared that when you see a position, you are a trader. You are a trader, you are here, and you are inside your application, and you can see there is profit. Your position is now 0.4% in profit. That is the return rate there, meaning that what you can do, you can scalp that profit, take it and go back into the market. That is if you want to continue to hold that big position, business partners. So that is scalping. Why do we call it scalping? Because it's a small amount of percentage that you can take manually, because Royal Q will never take a profit that is less than 1%. So it means if a profit of less than 1% is to be taken, that will be done by you as a trader, as a subscriber, or as an owner of your account. Because remember, we always highlight this or stress it more that Royal Q only makes profits on the spot market. It will never close your position in a loss, and which is something incredible. I've been with the business since 2021 to date. This is 2024 business partners. I have never seen a position that was triggered by Royal Q that went into the negative. And that's what is happening. And at the moment, can you see now BLZ and Bake are more or less on the same percentage. And this is the reality, business partners, with cryptos. They have that tendency to pump and dump almost at the same time. That is why we say, if you see your positions are not moving fast, you know, just to apply patience. Don't find yourself trading so many coins, because the moment when the market falls, all those positions will be trapped in the negative, and you will not be having USDT to attend to that massive fall, for instance. That is what is happening right there. And also welcome to, I see also Leader Lerato has just joined us. Yeah, that's it. So now let's scalp. Let's hear from Leader Cyril. Look, almost the same percentage, same return rate, both BLZ and Bake, for instance. So what we can do here, we can scalp. And I don't know what percentages, what take profit percentage is he taking here. Can you please click on any of the two positions that are in the green? Let's look at their take profit percentage. Their take profit percentage will be at the bottom of this page. This page is called a transaction page. So we can see that that is take profit of 5%. So 5% business partners has not been reached as yet. That is take profit ratio. It is take profit percentage, so to speak. And then if we were to go to the upper page, Leader Cyril, let's quickly look at that. Now, you can see we have 0.64%, for instance. That is 0.64% of $80.61, or $80.6122. That is what is happening there. So it means, and if you want to see how much, you don't need to calculate it manually. You can just move one step back to the page of transaction and you'll see that. Let's move one step back for people to see how much profit this is going to be. You can click on more below the green part. Now we can see, business partners, we have floating P/L inside the bracket USDT. That is floating profit and loss, or floating profit or floating loss, so to speak. And now we are able to see that at the moment it is floating in profit because it's plus 0.4639 and so, so at the moment plus 0.49, it means 49 cents. And this is 49 cents of US dollars, 51 cents at the moment. If you're to bring that to South Africa, and then if you have time to trade a whole day with that position amount of $80, you'll be accumulating cents that build up dollars. And as you get used to this, you can even be increasing your position amount so that you are able to get bigger profit there. Now, I recommend that we take profit from here and then we go back into the market, because it's possible. You can see it in the green now and it can still go in the red. Rather accumulate. When you see profit, don't just observe. Now look at the candlesticks there. It is about to hit the upper band, which is an area of overbought. So let's quickly collect this profit, and then because we don't know if the price is going to break above the upper band, which is an area that indicates an area where the price is overbought. The middle one is a moving average of the price, and the lower one is oversold area, for instance. Now, you will click on sell, Leader, then, and then you click on market price, and then you click on show. It already shows though you have 62% or something like that. So that is going to be captured. I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish on Bake, but now it's dependent on you as a trader if you would like to go back into this position, even after you have seen that the candlesticks are actually, let's please check what time interval that is. May you please go back to the candlesticks? It is also another way of refreshing this page, because after, on this particular phone, you need to refresh. We are on 15 minutes time frame. You can see 15 M, it means 15 minutes interval. So each candlestick, whether green or red, it opens and closes after 15 minutes, for instance. So now when you look at this, we are now on a daily time frame, 1 day. It means it takes a day for this. After the candlestick is open, it will take 24 hours. After 24 hours, it closes and a new candlestick opens. And remember, business partners, crypto markets don't have opening and the closing time. So which means they continue to trade. So they continue to trade non-stop, perpetually, and this is something very good. So that is why you can make a lot of money out of crypto. All you need to do is just really be passionate about this, see your profits being generated. Now, leader Cyril has actually gone back from the chart page, and now we are currently at the transaction page. Please, it's very important to mention these words. No? This is a transaction page. How did I know this? I knew it through user guide. User guide will tell you what pages are and all those kind of stuff. So that's why we encourage people to do so that even when we help one another, when you say, KG, I'm on a transaction page, I will know where you are at. If you are at the upper or the lower, I already know different buttons that appear there on the page. So I will know exactly where you are at. Or always take a screenshot when you ask in the group so that we know how to guide you. Now, leader Cyril, you can see at the bottom right, we have activate. Activate, it means now you can go. And business partners, why is he activating? Because he was trading this market and he's still bullish. He still believes that this market will continue to pump, for instance. But if you think this market will not pump, you can simply do what? Pause for now. Do not go back into that. And please, can you please go to the bottom part of this transaction page? We want to show something. You can see business partners below, strategy details. We have a summary of your parameters, that is your settings. You can see first buying amount is $12, and then margin call limit 7 there. Everything has been arranged according to my strategy settings template. So everything has been applied there, which is good. So it means if he comes out of this position and then he will no longer see it on strategy page, what will happen is later when he wants to go back into Bake, he will just get Bake from the list of the pairs on the home page. And then let's do it while we are here, please. Let's come out of this and show people that Bake will no longer be there, because we've seen the price is nearing the resistance area. It's nearing the upper band, the upper level, so to speak. At the moment, business partners, we can see Bake is not appearing here. You can see Bake is not appearing. You can see at the bottom is MTL. At the top, we have BLZ. Can you see BLZ now has dropped from 0.7? It's now at 0.25, which is something that I spoke of. But I don't know if it took profit. I don't know if it took profit within the time while we were talking. But what we can confirm, we can click on BLZ. Let's click on it and let's check if profit was ever collected or not. Because it's possible that the robot can be collecting profits. It might happen that call number 5 went back, but no, there's no way it did, because our take profit percentage is 5% here. So I don't think that was actually achieved in such a space of time, for instance. So with that being said, I'm okay. It means we didn't scalp when the return rate was at 0.7 or 6 or 5 area, like we saw, and then which is a lesson also for all traders. When you see profit collected, is that saying, but this is when you look at a cake for too long, someone else will just come and eat it, something like that, So it's so collect. Yeah, in terms of trading, this is very good concept. Or I don't know whether this is a proverb or what, but I learned it at school. I've never heard anyone mention it, other than while I was still in high school, whatever, during those times. I think if someone recalls this, you may. Yes, we were answering questions to get them right because of what we were taught, but we never thought. But I think that is applicable here. Collect the profit, So here now, you didn't take the profit, the best took it for you. The best took it for you, the best pushed the market, the price downward. Now, the position of BLZ, it's now floating in the negative, and then it's still moving between positive and negatives, and that is what it is. So now what else can we do? Can you please, let's go to homepage, let's look at what transpired under revenue details. Revenue details, business partners, is where you see pure trading profits, no rewards from the business and all those kind of stuffs. So pure trading profits. And if you are to click on the 0.51 that you see there, it is recorded for the 3rd. We are still in South Africa. We are still on the 2nd of July 2024. However, if you are to read at in the yellow background there, you will see the font at the bottom indicates that this is aligned. The system is according to the Singapore time, and then which is 6 hours ahead of us here or ahead of Central Africa time, or even South Africa Standard Time, for instance. That is what is happening there, business partners. So now can you see the advantage of scalping? You can see that now you have a record for the 3rd. You have a record for the 3rd, which is 51 cents. And if I'm to check, it's about 9 Rand 65 cents. That is what I'm seeing there. 9 Rand 65 cents, and then that's it. If you scalp again, you can get a loaf of bread with that from ShopRite in South Africa. That is if you buy from ShopRite. You know, another scalping will get you a bread right there. You know, so yeah, that's it. Business partners. Now let's look at the readings of the 2nd of July 2024, where we see $7, and then let's check. Okay, now we can see that WorldCoin, all these positions, WorldCoin, we see IRIS, just okay. That's what we are seeing at the moment. Below, okay, I think it's more than that. Okay, WorldCoin also, wow, some $1 to the 8 there and so forth. So this is just the positions that collected profit today. And remember, the market is still somehow bearish at the moment. Market hasn't been moving, honestly. We've been experiencing a negative gradient since actually the past 3 months, business partners. The market has just been shooting down and down and down. Some can even say since Jan, actually, the market has been downward, you know, and yeah, that's it. But we can see, sir, we can see those transactions. Our leader there, Dennis, may you please come? I know you have a question. We can see your hand there.
Thank you, leadership. I would like us to check check, say, the calculations when you want to replenish a position. Let's say, for instance, the position is on a floaty loss -10 or -15. If it is possible to calculate how much do I need to buy to bring the floaty loss maybe to 2% or less than that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you so much for that. So now, wow, that's beautiful. Our leader, Cyril, there we can see now the account estimate 665 rands, 37.7 there. Although we know that the market still hasn't done well, and we're still learning what strategy to apply here. And honestly speaking, that is a very good return, to be honest. And then we can't even compare this to what banks are giving their clients. For instance, if you were to invest this with a bank, you wouldn't have accumulated what you've accumulated. But this is because you are making the money yourself. So may you please, let's come out of the revenue details. I would like us to go to strategy. Strategy, that is where we're going to strategy under running. Now, if you click on strategy, at the bottom, you will see running positions. It's either bots or running. You can see on top, there's a strategy page. And then on the left, you see bots, on the right, running. Running simply means positions that are currently traded on your application. And then now, here, the question has been asked. We can see that we have MTL. We have MTL. And surprisingly, this position yesterday was still around -10%, which shows us that even of today, market has just been static. The market has not really gone up or down. If it moved, but it went back to where we left it last night. And this is the reality with trading. And now you can even enlarge that a little. Cyril, you can see that yesterday's candlestick was actually green when we left it, but midnight, the candlestick was already red. It closed red. You can see yesterday's is red. For those who are watching, markets move from left to right, meaning that all the greens and red candlesticks that you see behind the latest one, which is the green one, where the price action is linked to the blue indicator there. It's price action as the price is moving up and down. The current candlestick has not closed as yet. It's possible that later midnight, when the next day switches, for instance, that candlestick, it's possible that it can be green. I mean, it can be red, for instance. That is if the price will fall. But what we are seeing is that for the past, that is under 15 minutes time frame there, there's been a minor rise in price, and then that's it. So in essence, what we are seeing here is this. Yesterday, we left this position, MTL, still around minus 10% in terms of return rate. And today is the 2nd of the 7th month, 2024. Yesterday was the 1st. It was still around the same return rate. Now, imagine if you were only trading MTL and then you wanted to collect profit from that market today. It means if you don't have a strategy whereby you can manipulate the settings by manually going in to these markets. Let's say, for instance, if you had gone into the market when the price was around 1,121 at the bottom there, it means the higher of today under 15 minutes time frame, it is only reached now. The higher of today in this time interval of 15 minutes, it is only reached in this current 15 minutes, actually from this current candlestick, which actually started at 20:30. At the moment, it's 20:35 on the time, top left corner of the screen of Leader Cyril there. You can see time is 8 o'clock and 35 minutes, so to speak. So, which is 25 minutes too. But this candlestick started when the time was 8:30, the new candlestick was issued. And the higher of today here, it is on the current candlestick. That is why the price action is pushing up, and you can see that we have 1,149. This is what is happening, business partners. It means there hasn't been much growth or rise in price in this particular asset today, and that is what we are seeing now. It is now actually that we are experiencing even a bullish candlestick here even on a daily time frame. This is what it is. So now the question has been asked: how do you go about predetermining the amount of money to put in a coin in order to reduce the return rate to a certain percentage? You know, you want to know, and this is very important. It's like when you solve for X, business partners, you already must have an idea of where you are going. Or it's like taking a trip. Maybe you're taking an international trip. You know, you should know which flight you're going to be taking, for instance. You know, what direction you will be taking, for instance. So I'm giving an example. You can't take a trip until you know your destination, where you are going, for instance. The same thing in trading, we need to also have that concept. When you go into a market, it's because you want to make a profit, for instance. So the question that Leader Dennis is asking, it's very, very crucial. And let's go to, we're going to focus on MTL because as a bigger percentage. I think that is MTL. Other coins here, Leader Cyril, don't have a bigger negative rate. It is only MTL. And you can see, business partners, that MTL there, it is minus 10,06 is the one. And then, so it's the one that we will then want to trade by putting some extra money to it. And we're going to be doing it together, for instance. So now, although on the 15 minutes time frame, the price has already pushed upward. Maybe we could have done this maybe an hour ago. We will be in profit actually on the position that is to come in. However, because for the past 3 days, the price has somehow just been consolidating. You know, it has just been somehow static and not going up, not going down. It has just been consolidating orders. You know, because many people, when it takes longer, price hovering or lingering around the same price level, what it does is it just opens room for more orders to come in. It means anybody who comes into this market, people believe now it will pump, you know. So, but it's possible that price can move to where it is at the moment and it can drop further downwards. It's possible because at the moment, the price has actually established some form of support. You know, for the past 3 days, it's like it's forming a very strong support here. It is consolidating orders. It is taking orders, and it's possible that the pressure can increase, which is bullish, for instance, and then the price can go up. Or the bears can overtake the market, can really push the market downwards. They can force the price to go further down. Why? Some people can say, I'm cutting losses. I'm coming out of this coin because it is not working for them. If leader Cyril is impatient, he can say, no, I'm selling off. You know, if he's to sell off business partners, look at the summary of what we see under MTL. You can see position amount is $282.97, for instance. I'll put it that way, although we know with fiat currency, only 2 decimal places. But I just want people to be aware that these are the readings that I'm highlighting at the moment. That is the position amount. Inside the brackets, you will see that it is in USDT. That is Tether, cryptocurrency that is tied to the United States dollar, for instance. You are able to see that, business partners. So it means someone who's impatient can feel like, you know what, because MTL is not moving, I will rather come out of MTL by selling it off. If you are to sell it now, you're going to lose $28 or now $29. That is minus 9.14, now 36 and so forth. You see? That is floating loss at the moment. Why floating loss? Because the position is in the negative return rate, or it is in the negative return percentage, which is minus 10.29%, business partners. So if you are to close this asset now, you will be losing $29.14, for instance. That is purely what will be happening. But in Royal Q, on the spot market, we don't actually lose our crypto assets because no matter how deep the market can fall, you will still have your quantity. Your quantity is intact, and then we counteract that by doing dollar cost averaging. As the price reduces or as the asset depreciates in value, what we are doing is we're able to acquire even much more quantity at the lower prices, thereby increasing the quantity that we have. And should the market retrace a bit, should the market change direction or correct from the fall a little bit, a minor rise, you are actually easily able to go into profit, you know, and that is how we make money. You accumulate quantity as the market falls, and then you sell for a better price when there's a rise, because you'll be selling a quantity that is bigger than what you had previously, because you kept on accumulating. So that is why we say we are doing quantitative trading. So quantity is very important, and that's the reason why leader Dennis has asked a question as to how do we calculate the amount of money that we need to put into a position to reduce the position to a certain percentage. Leader Dennis, we want this to be interactive, for instance. Let me give an example. This is how I know, and this is how I've just learned intuitively. And there are people maybe who can even have better formulas for this, but I will also highlight or mention few. You see, Leader Dennis, at the moment, this position has $282. I will just neglect the cents for now, business partners. This position of MTL has 282 USDT, or US dollars, so to speak. And then it is currently at minus 10%. And then I'll just forget the decimals for now. It is at the moment minus 10%. So now, when I want to reduce this position to minus 5%, what I will do is I will put 282 into this. I will put $282 into this. It means I will double the position amount. Doubling the position amount will will halve the return rate. And then for those who want to even understand this better, what you see with the return rate, business partners, it means the market has fallen by minus 10%. Or yes, the value of your asset has depreciated by minus 10%. You can also think of the market has fallen by minus 10%. So before the value of your money can be restored to $282, the market has to rise by 10%. The market has to correct its fall, meaning it has to rise by plus 10%. And then, because we have minus 10%, if the market goes up by plus 10%, minus 10% plus 10% is 0%. It means you're going to be breaking even. You'll have no losses and you'll have no profits at that stage. It means you'll have broken even, and then the value of your asset will be on par with your position amount. The value of the quantity, which is, I'm looking at the quantity. Position quantity, business partners, is 221.3 MTL. That is the amount of the asset. And not only that, it means also that the price must go up. The price must go up from 1,147. That is where MTL is. If you check on the pair of MTL stroke USDT, you'll see the price 1,147, which is US dollars or USDT. So it means if the market goes up by 10%, the market will be sitting at the average price. It means the market must go back to the average price, which is $1.27, for instance, or $1.278, because these are cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are divisible to more decimal places, unlike fiat of like United dollar to decimal places and so forth, business partners. So now, just to highlight that again, because it's very important, I'm trying to be more detailed, business partners, so that we have different perspectives to this, so to speak. Now, Leader Dennis, you want this market to reduce by -5, by half, -5, for instance. It means you need to put $282 into this. You'll add $282 to this, and the reduction will be to -5%. So instead of the market going up by 10%, as in now, the market will need to just rise by 5% and you break even. That is, if it happens that the market goes up by 7%, it means you're going to be 2% in floating profit, because -5 would have been cleared. After that, the market pumped by 7%. Therefore, you'll be floating with 2% in the positive. That is plus 2%, so to speak. So now we are going to demonstrate this. This is what I use, Leader Dennis, instead of using my own calculator, because of the variables of the figures here. We have quantity, we have average price, we have current price, which is always there in the market, and then we have position amount and so forth. It can really be confusing, but Royal Q has built in a formula for us to calculate this. Now, let me go and show you. This is just for demonstration purposes. We're not going to buy. Now, please, Leader Cyril, can you please click on MTL? We are going to transaction page. From transaction page, we're going to go to buy. Please click on buy on the right-hand side of sell. Now, business partners, we are on the buy page. Now you can see we have market price there. Can you please click on market price? Yes. At the moment, I think this could be network. Once we've clicked on market price, we should be seeing a reading of estimated holding profit and loss. It should be appearing by now. But at the moment, it's not appearing. It could be network, but we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do, before we put in that money of, or that amount of $282, Leader Dennis, we're going to do this. Let's quickly take through people through the information on the buy pop-up screen there. You can see that we have position amount, which is the amount that we saw on the other page behind this, is $282. Average price is exactly as it was. And then position quantity, everything accordingly, even the return rate. The return rate here, business partners, is appearing in full, is flow, here it's position, profit, and loss. On the other side, there was a stroke. You just saw P&L, for instance, which is still minus 10 there, minus 10%. So now, Leader Cyril is going to do something for us now. He's going to put amount of margin call, but he's not going to click show because we don't want to put that money for now. We just want to put, although he has the money, if he puts it, it's not a problem at all. It will still work in his favor. We can still do it anyway. So, but let's click on, please enter the margin amount, which is 282. We are putting the same amount that the position is currently holding or running with. Now we're going to put 282, where they say, please enter the margin amount that is below amount of margin call, sir. You'll just put 282 there. And then you will see what happens to position profit and loss. Yes, now, Leader Dennis, this is what I spoke of earlier, that when I put the same position amount, then the return rate is going to be reduced by half, which is exactly what happened. So now, look at what happened there, business partners. Now you can see estimated or holding profit and loss is now minus. Can you see that? It's now minus 5, let me say it's just minus 5%. I will ignore the decimals for now. Remember, the real profit and loss, there it is, below current price on top, is minus 10%. But if we were to put 282, what are we actually doing? We are buying more quantity. We are buying additional amount of this cryptocurrency at a much cheaper price now, because the price has actually reduced by 10%. Now we are adding additional quantity. Remember, quantitative trading. So as we buy a bigger quantity now at the current market price, the position is reducing the return rate. So it means in this particular market, instead of waiting for 10% up, you just wait for minus 5% up and you break even. So now that's what happened there. That's what happened there, Leader Dennis. Let's say as a trader, you want to cope. Let's say your risk appetite, your risk appetite, say for instance, you want even less than minus 5, for instance. You feel like you can't wait for minus 5, and then you want to add more. Let's double our 282. 282 times 2 will give us 564, for instance. Can you please put 564 there, Leader Cyril, and we will see what happens to our estimated profit and loss. 564. Can you see, Leader Dennis, now that at the moment on this position, we now have estimated holding profit and loss is minus 3.36. But now we are putting $564. We're investing this 564 on top of the 282 that we already had. So, or that we already have, so to speak, into this market. And then, so when we add even much more quantity, we don't need the market to go up by 10% to break even. We just need just 3.36. And that is the reason why, business partners, there's a saying that money goes to where there's money. It means people who have money make even more money. When there are issues of economic crisis and so forth, when people are losing houses due to banks, repossessing and so forth, those who are liquid are going to buy auctioned house. close to nothing, so to speak, if you are to consider the original value. You know, I'm just showing you the importance of always having money, you know, to trade with. That is the reason why we are not in a haste to put too much money in the initial stages of your trading, because you know an opportune moment will arise where you need to buy, and because some bearish candlesticks are issued in the market and you just need to go in and collect easy money. But you are not able to do that because you pushed a lot of money at the higher price levels. Now prices are so down, you don't have money to buy. Now you are at the mercy of the market. You have to now pray for the market to recover. Some people are maybe 15% down, 60% down. You should be now, this is a moment where you should be buying. And that's the reason that you get the slogan, buy the dip. You see, buy the dip, buy the dip. You know, go when you see blood in the market, it's an opportunity to make money. That is what is happening, business partners. So now with that, leader Cyril, I'm confident with this. I don't, if you are at peace with this, you can still buy with this, and then we're going to bring it out with 1%, for instance. You know, and then it means you will click show. I know you are a courageous man. You know, Cyril, it's a big name. So yeah, that is the calculator, business partners, that you can easily use to determine a position there, for instance. It's just that here we bought under whole warehouse. Please remember that. You know, and so now at the moment, let's go up and see. We can come out with a back arrow. Leader Dennis, if you want us to come up with this, to approach it differently, we will hear from you. What you can do also is this. People don't need to crack their heads. At least you already know that if you want to reduce the return rate by half, you put the same amount of money that you see on the position amount. But please, do it under sub positions. Do it under sub positions. Don't do it like we did with leader Cyril here. Do it under sub positions, because if this market continues to fall, you may not cope. But this man is big who's holding the position there. No problem with this. With him going in with that. Now you can see that position is holding 847 there. You know, so I will ask him that we reduce the 5% of whole warehouse, and then let's reduce it to 2%, so that the robot takes 2% of this. The market can pump even tonight. We want to take just 2%. I wouldn't want this to be held for too long in this market, for instance. You know, so as a trader, you know, this is what happens. Yes. Can we go, please? We reduce this to 2%. We click on MTL. We will change whole position take profit ratio. You click on trade setting at the bottom left. We just want to reduce that 5% to 2%, so that if this pumps by 2%, the robot must just collect profit and bring the money out. So where you see whole position take profit ratio, where there's 5 there, we put 2. You know, because we know that a lot of assets are still bearish. There's not much momentum, for instance. So 2%, it's if that happens, and then that money will come back to him, he'll continue to use it, and then you can save at the bottom, sir. And then this is one shot, and yeah, that's it. If this market pumps, or let me say when this market pumps by 2% or so, this robot is going to close this position. So 800 by additional 2% growth of this will happen. But if really the pumping can be so hard, the market can even give him more than 2%. I've shown people previously that I had a take profit of 5%, but 45% was taken off profit, simply because there was that bullish move upwards that kept on shooting, and the robot kept on allowing more profits to be locked in that position. So let's hear from leader Dennis. Yeah, that's it. business partners.
Thank you, leadership. I think it was clear, loud and clear. The only thing that I would like to know, when we were doing that buying, I heard you saying that it was under a whole warehouse. So meaning that when I'm buying under isolated margin calls, do I need to go to trade setting to open up, let's say, because always we have seven margin calls. Maybe all of them, they've been taken already. Do I need to go to trade setting first to open up one more margin call, or I just go and buy anyway?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good question, sir. It is recommended that traders who are doing manual trading, meaning trading with a tight capital, for instance, don't buy from where we bought, because if you buy there, it's manual replenishment. The quantity that you bought goes under whole warehouse. It doesn't go to the sub positions. It doesn't go to the sub positions. So it means now, before that quantity we bought can come out, before it can come out, this position must first go into the green percentage. The whole position must go into the green. However, when you trade under sub position, that is sub-bin mode real-time settlement, you are able to collect profit even when, let me give an example, my leader. When the same position we are watching now becomes minus 2%, it simply means that the market went up by 1%. There's 1% in the green, because -3 + 1 gives us -2. If we bought the amount of 500, if we bought with it under sub position by opening position number 9, leader Cyril, can you please go to MTL so that they see what we're talking about? People can see the numbers of call margin are 8 at the moment. Not on the chart for now. Let's go to, yes, let's go to, yes, at the moment, top at the top there. At the top, let's also switch off, please. Let's switch off margin call on this position, because we've put too much money in here. We don't want extra money to be taken anytime. You can switch off margin call here. Yes, because we 847 is a lot of money. So now what is happening here, business partners, is this. If you replenish through the buyback button there, you are replenishing under a whole warehouse mode. It's a manual replenishment. Manual replenishment, it means you did it manually yourself. However, when the bot does it for you, although it's still the bot that does it, but when the bot does it for you through sub-bin position, it means the 500 and I wonder what amount that was. The money that we put earlier.
564.
Thank you, sir. The 564 that we bought with. What happened is that if you want to put it through sub positions, what you're going to be doing is you will now go to your settings and you go and you add margin call number 9, and then you'll put that money. It means you'll be saying 564 minus 12, which is your first buying amount, and then you'll be having that 47 multiple buy-in ratio. So, and then the robot was then going to place. The robot was going to place your order through that, and then that's how it's been. But I'm just at peace with what happened on this because I have seen how the position was holding for the past 3 days, and then I'm just anticipating that a rise can happen. Although the opposite is a reality, the market can still dip again, but even if it falls, it won't fall like too hard, so to speak. Although anything can happen with the crypto markets, but we'll still be able, with the money that remains. Can we show people, and now that we have highlighted how to buy additional margins, for instance, how to, if leader Dennis, if us putting that 564 was going to show a remaining percentage in the negative, like -15, -10, I wouldn't have recommended, I wouldn't have taken a decision to put it through manually. You know, I wouldn't have taken that because, it's a big percentage. You see, then that one I will really put it through the sub bin positions, because a market can easily pump by 5%, 8%, 10% like that. Although we know that even more than 30 a market can do, but it doesn't happen all the time, like 30% up and so forth. So if the return rate is big, I wouldn't recommend that you do manual replenishment. You can just take a risk of manual replenishment when you see that return is a smaller percentage. It's a smaller percentage simply after that position was actually held. If you held on to that position for some days and it hasn't been moving and all those kind of stuffs, and you are replenishing, just like you saw, this actually brought us from -10 to -3%. That's what you see there. So for the sake of this not to take long, can we please stop the recording and we continue to engage with questions? I believe that as people interact with the settings, they will learn so many things in terms of how we're manipulating our settings in our advantage. Just to recap, recall that it was on -10, we added more money to bring it to -3%. So which means if this market goes up by 4%, if it is sitting at let's say even if it goes up by 5%, already you'll be in a floating profit on the whole position. Return rate for the whole position, for instance. At the moment, we just want to collect 2% there and close. If leader Cyril sees that this position is floating with +1%, it's up to him to close and collect profit. But at the moment, considering the days, rather take even much bigger profit, because it's a lot of money there, 800. You wouldn't just put so much money in any coin anyhow. You only put in a coin that you can see that has been holding for some time and it has built some stronger support on the structure, and just like that, business partners. So thank you so much for this particular session. We can always ask questions. Let's engage as it happens. I'm looking at a time now.